I discovered my husband cheating on me, so I got my revenge. Now I want to get back with him. My husband, 29M, and I, 24F, have been in a relationship for 6 years, and we got married 3 years ago. I thought our relationship was perfect, there were never any signs of anything being wrong. He consistently came home on time every day and left for work punctually. He was always affectionate, and I truly believed our relationship was perfect. However, everything changed when I saw a notification on his phone while he was in the shower. It was from a girl on Instagram whom I'd never seen before. Using his passcode, which he had always been open with me about, I accessed his phone. I had never felt the need to check his phone before. When I opened Instagram, an app I didn't even know he had downloaded, I found a bunch of messages to small influencers who posted revealing photos. I'm not against them, but it was clear that my husband was flirting with them. His account had photos of him with heavy filtering, and his bio stated he was 25 and single. I was obviously shocked and couldn't stop staring at the phone. I took screenshots and sent them to myself, including the usernames of the girls. When my husband came out of the shower and saw me crying on his phone, he quickly realized what had happened. He tried to comfort me, claiming it was just a one-time mistake. I asked if he had gone on dates or slept with other women. That's when he got angry and started shouting at me for invading his privacy. He kicked me out of the house, so I went to a friend's place. In 6 years, I had never seen this side of him. Sure, he get angry sometimes, everyone does, and I can't blame him for that. I understand that men sometimes have urges to cheat, and it's just biological, so I don't blame him. I just wish he'd talk to me. My friend thinks I'm being delusional and pointed out that he hasn't apologized yet. After lurking here for a while, I thought I should post and ask for advice on what I should do. I feel so lost right now. Update 1. After getting advice, I realized I deserved better than what I was getting. I deserved someone who loved me for who I am, not someone who needed others to satisfy them. However, something kept nagging at me. In the screenshots, there was this girl, the main person he texted and flirted with. She was 23, and it felt horrible because she seemed genuinely in love with him. I found her Instagram and messaged her, thinking she deserved to know the truth. She was angry when she learned about the situation. To avoid referring to her as she, I'll call her Jess. Jess was clearly upset about everything and kept apologizing to me. She then asked if she could take me out for coffee to discuss the situation, and out of curiosity, I agreed. We met the next day, and I learned more about her relationship with my husband. They had been dating behind my back for 10 months, which was shocking to me. But here's the kicker, he was still texting her. Jess, who turned out to be a very vengeful person, wanted to lead my husband on as revenge. She had been cheated on before and refused to let another cheater off easily. Jess gave me a pep talk, emphasizing the importance of women supporting each other, which was honestly refreshing. She planned to continue flirting with him and try to get invited to our house, as they had only met at hotels or her place. Then, she would throw glitter all over his belongings. The idea made me laugh, knowing how angry it would make my husband. I allowed her to do it, as I didn't care about any collateral damage to my things. I'm not a big spender and didn't have much to lose, and it wouldn't surprise me if he had already destroyed what I did have. I feel angry and frustrated but more exhausted than anything. I've gotten in contact with a lawyer and that's a whole complicated process that I just don't want to deal with. I just want to be free of him. I feel disgusted with myself and betrayed. I mourn the relationship I had, but now that I look back on it, I was always tense and a sad shell. Update 2. There's been so much going on and it's been crazy. At first I was staying with my friend Kate. Kate has been a huge help and I have appreciated her so much. Jess was originally going to go through with the glitter plan. She updated me every step of the way, even sending me pictures of her buying the glitter. She'd send me screenshots of the text between her and my husband. It didn't even take her long to convince my husband to let her come over because he clearly thought since I was gone I wouldn't find out. Jess told me they watched a movie and before things escalated he went to the bathroom, in which she quickly pulled out the glitter and threw it at his side of the closet in our bedroom. She then ran, taking a few photos of the crime scene before she left. My husband was furious. It was this bright pink glitter that was sprayed all over his work clothes. I'm the one who does the laundry, so he had no way of figuring out how to get it out. The funniest part is this man had the audacity to call me an hour after she left and beg me to come home. I wish I could show you how he sounded when I said no and that I was filing for divorce. He was so shocked and kept stumbling over his words, he never expected that I'd have the guts to do it. The months following weren't easy and my ex-husband was not cooperating or being easy when I was trying to divorce him. He'd switch between calling me a dirty female dog to sobbing and begging me to forgive him. Jess and Kate were my rocks and made sure that I didn't forgive him. I'm so grateful for them because at some points I felt like giving up and taking him back. Jess was especially great because as much as I love Kate, she's very traditional. Kate at first let me stay at her house and she was shocked by husband's betrayal. She thought we'd eventually get back together. After seeing all the horrible names he called me, though, she quickly switched to my side, but I know she still has some thoughts that she's not expressing with me. Jess knew what it was like to be cheated on in a long-term relationship, and she had gotten out of an abusive relationship too. It was like a breath of fresh air because she was the complete opposite of me. She was very loud and outgoing. She's a huge feminist and was so sad that I was so isolated from my femininity. Jess often took me out shopping and encouraged me to be bold and pick things that I liked for me. We ended up going on a road trip and camping together with no internet. That was my first time camping and it was really fun, but definitely never again. Last week my ex-husband tried showing up at Kate's place, and that was a whole issue because he knew Kate wouldn't be home when he came. It was so scary. He was pounding on the door like crazy and screaming. I feel so bad for the neighbors. Luckily Jess had been over when he showed up because she gave him a mouthful and told him that if he didn't leave she was going to call the police. I'm so grateful for her because I was just frozen and watching this unfold. I've never been good with conflict. Anyways, yeah, that's kinda what's been going on so far. I'm really hoping my ex-husband leaves me alone. I'll update you guys if anything interesting happens. Update 3. Jess has been incredibly supportive and a great influence on me. She's taught me how to be independent and actually enjoy life. I've always been expected to be quiet and obedient, but Jess showed me how to stand up for myself and do things because I want to. She's super fun, kind, and I appreciate her so much. Here's the issue, though. I think I might have romantic feelings for her. This is completely new to me, as I've never considered women in that way, and I only recently got out of a relationship. I'm confused about what to do. When I'm around her, I feel like a high school girl again, with butterflies in my stomach. She makes me incredibly happy. I've been researching to understand my feelings, but I'm still unsure if I'm gay or not. I really like Jess and want to ask her out on a date, but I don't even know if she's interested in women. Plus, I'm afraid of risking our friendship if things don't work out. I'm just so lost. It doesn't help that she's very affectionate with me. For instance, the other day during a movie night, she fell asleep on my shoulder, and it made my heart skip a beat. I've been feeling nervous around her lately, and I'm worried she'll pick up on my feelings. Does anyone have any advice? Update 4. My ex-husband and I have been thinking about getting back together. My roommate, Jay, 24F, who is also my best friend, doesn't know, but I know she would be totally against it. It's a long story, but if you've gotten this far then you should know it. But recently my husband showed up to the apartment begging for me to take him back. It was so scary. He looked horrible, he was crying and telling me he didn't know what to do without me. He told me that his mother was sick and she was getting worse. He ended up convincing me to go on one date with him, but then I felt like I was leading him on, so I kept hanging out with him. He's nicer now. He tells me he loves me now and he buys me flowers. It's starting to feel like when we first met. This has only been happening for about 2 months now and nobody knows. But he's really pushing for it to be public. I can't make it public without my best friend knowing, and she'd hate me for it. She hates my ex-husband with a burning passion. She hates him for how he hurt me and how he hurt her. She's extremely protective of me and will think he's holding me hostage or something. I really don't want to lose her, but I miss my husband. I miss being a wife. We haven't even fully gone through with the divorce yet because he's been so against it, but it seems we might not need it. Plus she'll think it's going too fast since I plan on moving out soon too.